Welcome to Scale With Us, the podcast for business owners navigating the absolute chaos of scaling a business and juggling all that life throws at you along the way.
Each week, we'll be talking about our wins and fails and everything in between because let's be real, it's not all smooth scaling.
So grab a drink, settle in, and let's get into it.
All right, I've got a question for you today. When was the last time you Googled yourself?
I actually did probably about a month ago.
Oh, okay. I thought it'd be more dramatic than that.
Only because, just let's scrap that.
Because you just love
Just because I just wanted to
searching
see.
yourself. Well, look, usually when I ask my clients, they've never really Googled
Yeah.
themselves, right? They've never put on that hat to go, what are people seeing when they Google me? And what are they seeing about my reputation and my brand? Because I think the way that people are now researching and shopping before they go to use a business is all through Google and, well, now AI and ChatGPT and things as well. So I suppose today we wanted to talk about your online digital footprint, right? So what do people see when they look you up, and when was the last time that you put on that hat and had a look?
It's interesting because now when you Google yourself, your Instagram feed pops up as well in Google, and if you're on YouTube, that pops up. So it's not just what your Google reviews say, it's like everything on the internet can be displayed. So
And it is how people research everything now, right? Like we go online before we, book a restaurant. My lovely partner Taylor, like we can't go anywhere without him like looking up the restaurant,
Yeah.
looking up the reviews, looking up the photos, going on the Instagram. Like it's the way that people are now researching, as opposed to, I don't know, back in the olden days when you used to walk down the street front and you might go, in our industry and real estate, oh, well, there's 3 real estate agents, I'll just pop in and get their brochure or information. And you had a perfectly curated brochure that was given to that person.
Yeah.
Whereas now, it is that brand presence. It's what is shown online. And I think they're doing that before they pick up the phone to call. They're doing that before they get to the book an appraisal form on your website, which we've spoken about. Probably needs to be different anyway. But often when we sort of look at new clients' profiles with the ones that I'm working with, we see that maybe one part of their digital footprint's really strong. Maybe their website's strong, maybe their reviews are strong, or maybe their Instagram's really good. But then there are other areas that might be letting the ball down, letting the ball drop. Is that a saying? Letting the ball drop?
It is now.
I'm that person that probably butchers 2 sayings into one. So whatever it is, where they're like, it's somewhere it's letting it down.
Yeah.
And so I suppose today the conversation is around, what is your online brand reputation? And I suppose what are some of the challenges if you're not paying attention to it, and also what to do to fix it,
Yeah.
I suppose.
Yeah.
And one of the things I specifically wanted to talk about, if you're in the real estate industry and your business has a sales and property management department, is you've got to look at this across the whole entire business. Because so often I might see, or we get called in to have, help us grow the rent roll, right? Or help us, increase our service and all those beautiful things. But like we can do everything on this one side of the business. I'm holding my right hand up for anyone listening to the podcast. But on the other side, if sales is letting the team down, like, and they haven't got good reviews or online reputation, like the public doesn't really differentiate between the brand. And you said something really interesting before about, if you're part of a franchise group, that's even more challenging.
Oh, I've heard someone say, I had a bad experience with McGrath property manager. I would never use McGrath again.
Yeah.
And it's like, whoa,
But
there was
99% of them are amazing. Like,
absolutely.
yeah.
And there's hundreds of McGrath offices, and they're painting, that one franchise with the same brush just because of one experience. So it's you've got to be really careful. Yeah.
And I think, it's a whole nother conversation about, franchise versus independent, and a whole bunch of conversations around that. But I think when you're looking at this digital footprint and putting that hat on and Googling yourself and your brand, it's making sure that what is visible and available to see online about your whole business is relevant. I see it all the time as well on like Facebook groups. We've got local mum Facebook groups, and people are always on there going, oh, like recommending a real estate agent or a property manager. people are jumping on and just saying this brand, not this brand, use these guys, not these guys. And there isn't a differentiator for them saying, oh, well, I had a good experience with sales, but not with PM,
Yeah,
right? So it's something that we need to pay attention to on both sides of the business if we want
yeah,
to elevate it.
totally. I think those Facebook groups are great for getting recommendations, but you have to do your research. And I think that's what a lot of people would do. They would get recommendations from a friend or family or Facebook group, and then they jump online and they're checking out literally everything. Google reviews, your Instagram, how active you are, your testimonials, all of those things. Have you personally ever received a bad Google review?
Not me and my business.
Oh.
Perfect 5 stars over here. But I have, I have had clients who've got, negative reviews, sometimes
Yep.
justified, sometimes unjustified. It's nothing that breaks my poor small business owners' hearts when they have a tenant that gets shitty with something and then goes and leaves a negative review and a perfect 5-star rating comes down. I actually think a less than 5-star rating is actually better. I actually think like a 4.8 or a 4.9 is probably where you want to be, because it
Yep.
shows that there's realistic situations in it.
Yeah, and I always check out what are the 1-star reviews,
And
and
sometimes you can see that they're completely unreasonable, because you've had one,
and
right?
yeah, I have, and that broke my heart when I received it, but it was actually from a VA that we just she wasn't doing her job, and
How
we
dare you call her out
I
for
know,
that?
I know, right? And so we gave her multiple chances to fix her performance and show up and do her work, and she didn't, and she refused to, do what she was getting paid to do. So we let her go,
Yep.
and she left a review. And then I contacted her and I said, look, this is completely unfair and I don't appreciate you doing this. This is why we've let you go. Um, you know, I would appreciate it if you took it down, because I'm sure in the future you're going to want to go for another job, and
And someone might Google her.
someone might Google her, or someone might reach out to us. If you've got us on your resume, they might reach out to us for a reference. And I would hate to say that I would, never hire you again because you've left this nasty review. And so she took it down. So I think even if she didn't take it down, I would hope that if people saw that we had one-star review and read it, could see that it was a VA not doing their job, and and how we responded back to that, because that's what I do. If I go on someone's page and I see someone that has a 1-star, I look at why, and I look at how they respond to that. And sometimes you can see that that person's completely unhinged, and you can go on their other Google reviews and see that they only leave really bad Google reviews. So it actually looks worse on them than it does on the business. So I think how a business handles the bad review, it says a lot about them.
Oh, 100%. And I think, you have a lot of other amazing reviews, so it
Yes.
shows that
Yeah.
you're not just like a 1-star business.
Yeah.
And I think that then will outweigh any 1-star review.
Yeah.
And then be like, it's actually very interesting because a lot of the time, my property management businesses that I work with, they get really upset if a tenant goes and leaves, that 1-star review. Maybe that's a strategy for them to say, hey, just so you know, some property managers might look at that when they're doing their reference checks and, see that is something that you can actually do if you don't want to have a problem tenant coming in, is you could actually Google them and see what reviews that they have been leaving for past agencies, and landlords sometimes too, right? Sometimes there's shitty landlords that we don't want to have on our portfolios. So it's definitely something to think about. I think talking about reviews, I suppose a couple of things on that would be, how important do you think reviews are in assessing whether to use a business or not?
I think very important.
Yeah.
I would much rather have.
Like, you put a lot of weight on it if you're researching.
Yeah, I do. I just think it makes the business look successful, look like they have a lot of clients. It's funny because I had a really good experience with my finance guy last week, and I've been using him for years. So I knew the service was great, but he just really blew me away with what he did. And so I thought, I don't think I've left him a Google review yet. I'm just going to do that to say thank you. And I went on there and he had hundreds of 5-star reviews. And I thought, wow, okay, like I'm going to add one because I had a great experience. But I was just like, wow, that really shows that it's just not a one-off. Like they do the experience that I had, they do that with all of their clients. And I think it's just really powerful. But I think with real estate, the problem that we have is there's so many platforms. There's Google reviews, and there's your REA reviews, your RateMyAgent reviews, your domain reviews. You've got all these different
There's also
channels.
Facebook reviews as well,
Facebook
which I don't think
reviews. So
anyone reads.
how do you? I had a strategy for this when I was at Chadwick about how to get one review, but then use it multiple times.
And what was that? Because that's something that I know a lot of agencies struggle with, is they might get it like
Yeah.
on one platform, but it doesn't
Yep. So
go through the others.
I haven't, because I've been out of working in an agency for over 3 years now, but what we used to do is we would send the Rate My Agent link, because Rate My Agent feeds into Google. But we had a program.
Oh, I have a counter argument to that, but keep going.
Yeah, I would love to hear it, because I do think it's probably changed now. But we used to have make it really easy for them. We would send them a text message, because you're more likely to get people to take action on something really quick like that if it's via text. And we would say, if you could click this button and leave a review, but copy and paste, and also one extra click if you could paste it here. And that would get it. I think it was on Google and what's the other one? I think it was Domain. And then because Rate My Agent and Rate My Agent and Google feed into each other, you get in 3 platforms.
Yeah, so it's like if you're getting a good review, then asking them to repost it onto some of the other platforms that
Yeah.
matter as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's smart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your counter to that?
Well,
Video
I'm
testimonials.
not an expert. However, the Rate My Agent does show up on Google, right? For searching, like if you're searching agent in location. So all of their SEO puts them,
Yep.
will then put your
Yeah.
agency's Rate My Agent profile higher up in the search results. However, it doesn't help your own website's SEO, and it doesn't help you to show up in, the little top box if you
Yep.
search for real estate agent, property manager, location, and then you have like the box pops up with the top 3 or 4 recommendations. Rate My Agent doesn't impact that,
Interesting.
as far as I know. Please feel free to correct me
Yes,
if I'm
if
wrong.
you work
But
Rate My
what
Agent.
does is your Google reviews. So your Google reviews, the recency of your profile updates, your content, your website updates, etc., the relevancy inside the wording of the reviews based on what the search results are. So if you've got people in your reviews saying like best property manager, blah, 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 if someone's searching for best property manager, blah, 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 like what is inside those reviews will help. Whereas apparently like the Rate My Agent, it's just to boost the Rate My Agent site, not your website,
That makes
Google
sense.
profile, or
Yep.
reviews. So I definitely think I know a lot of people do focus on the Rate My Agent because it's a lead generation tool and it works well, which is great. But I think if you want to boost your own website visibility and Google rankings, then I think it is important to focus on the Google reviews. But I mean, it's going to be interesting to see now with the all of the AI search capability, and now people are going to ChatGPT to search for recommendations. I'm actually not sure then if what reviews are going to matter most. I would imagine that it's reading the Google reviews as a part of that, but
I would think it would read the Google reviews, but also I know blog posts are having a big impact on AI. So you could actually have a bit of a strategy around making a blog once a month with some copy and paste of great reviews, and that way ChatGPT would pick it up. But it's tricky because
it's changing as well.
it changes
And I
all the
think
time.
just got to kind of stay like ahead of it and on top of it. And, I think it still matters to get the reviews because it's that social proof, right?
Yeah.
And I think, we sort of had a plan what we're going to talk about today, like reviews is a big component of it. I think there's one part of it which is people are afraid to ask for the reviews. So it's like, having a system and a strategy around that. Then secondly is how you use those reviews. Obviously, we know
Yeah.
it's important for searchability, but it's also then how you use that in amongst your socials and your content, and maybe in, blogs and other things to show other people more about that actual social proof that you've already worked with people that, are like them, and they
Yeah.
go, yeah, like that's the person that I want to use to sell my home, manage my home that I want to rent from. So, um, I want to start with the how, um, because I really think there's a fear. I know a lot of it is, maybe that's because I'm from the property management space, is like people don't want to ask for reviews.
Yeah.
Um, and when I've done any workshops or training around this and spoken to PMs about it, it's like, oh, there's a fear, they don't want to, um,
Get a
they don't
bad
want to
review.
ask, but I typically say it's because, like, well, you don't know if they're like happy sometimes, like, because we're not asking. So, like, when I'm sort of talking about systemizing it, I'm like, we have to actually check in and ask, well, is the client happy?
Yeah.
Now, usually, if you've got a good email from them and like you can see that they're happy, that's a great time to ask for it.
Yeah.
But otherwise, it's systemizing it into a part of your process that's repeatable. Like for PMs, I always say, okay, well, like if you've just leased a property, really great time to ask the owner and the tenant for a
Totally.
review. Like it's
Yeah.
pretty likely that they're going to be happy unless, I don't know, they've moved into a shit house or something.
Yeah.
So like making that part of your like systemized checklist process is that an
Yeah.
email goes out after lease has been signed or they've moved in, going, great, so happy to help you. If you've been happy, leave us a Google review. And getting those not just from landlords, but also tenants as well, so
When
that
they're
there's
happy.
positive
Yeah.
tenant sentiment coming through.
Yeah. I think you're definitely more likely to get it when, say, property's being leased, when both parties are really happy. Get the Google review then, because even if over time, and I hope this doesn't happen, but I'm sure it would, if they aren't happy, I think they would have to be really, really unhappy for them to go
remove
in
it.
and remove it or change it to from a 5-star to a 1-star and,
Well,
change
you
the
don't
comment.
remember what reviews you've left. Like I've left
No.
hundreds of reviews over the years.
That's what I mean. You'd have to be really angry to be like, did I
And
leave the
but yeah,
review?
that's
Like,
actually happened to me. I've left someone a good review, then the next time I've gone to that service, like not been
I'm
as happy.
changing
But
this.
I haven't.
Yes.
Like I'm not that vindictive to go
Yeah.
and do that. But it's interesting because outside of our industry, if you think about different things that you do, getting your hair done, going to restaurants, staying at hotels, like it's usually pretty standard. Like as soon as you leave, it's like,
Yeah.
hey, were you happy with everything? If you say yes, it's like, great, if you could leave us a Google review. So it's a system to help drive more reviews, which I think is really smart.
Yeah, absolutely. I really love when I go into places and they've got like a little stand and it says like,
So you can scan.
you can scan it, because then you're there, you're in person, you're in the moment, scan it and leave the review. I love that.
Should we have them at open homes? How's our open
Yeah.
home? Just leave us a Google review.
Yeah. Before you can come in and view the house.
If you want your offer put forward.
Yeah.
No, we'd
5 stars only.
Clearly I'm only joking. Don't cancel me. Okay, so it's like it's good to then time the request for a review after some sort of positive interaction.
Yeah.
Might seem obvious, but for anyone who has a fear around it, I think that's a really great way to remove that barrier, because then if they're happy. But like, let's say if you wanted to do it across your whole client base, because a lot of the time people might want to send it to their whole portfolio, or like you might want to send it to all your clients. I might
Yeah.
want to send it to mine. My sort of understanding is that, I mean, I'm pretty confident that my clients are happy. So I probably would say, if you can like leave us a Google review, like that's great.
Yeah.
But if you're not confident that all your clients are happy, it might need to start with like a survey process to be like, hey, how are you finding everything? Are you happy? And if the people that are then saying, yep, 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10, going back to them, be like, thanks so much. We're so glad you're happy. If you had a second to leave us a Google review,
Yeah.
pop the link in there. And then
Yeah.
you can do it.
When we were a little bit smaller, we actually sent out an email, and I'm not sure the right way to say this, but it was like, if you leave us one, we would love to leave you one as well. Because even though I'm not technically getting a service with them, I'm still
interacting
with another business and another business owner. And we actually got a lot of reviews from doing it that way. And that was one thing I did at Chadwick when I was there, is I went out to our commercial property owners and with an email that said, if you leave us one, we'd love to return the favor and leave you one. And that got a lot of reviews happening as well, because they could see the benefit of taking that 5 minutes to leave a review, because then they would get one in return.
Yeah, I think that works pretty well for like B2B per
absolutely.
business.
Yeah.
Obviously, if you've got clients,
Oh, yeah,
not
it's
going to
a
work.
tricky
Like, yeah,
one
B2C
for
is going to
sure.
be a bit trickier.
Yeah.
Um,
I actually had a client that we worked with at Chadwick. It was a social media company, and they sent us a gift.
Mm.
Like, if you leave us a Google review, you can. And I'm pretty sure you're not allowed to do that anymore. Like
yeah, I
Google
think
or Sync,
supposed to.
you're not
You're
supposed
not
to.
supposed to
But I
incentivize
did
it.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, but people do have, like, I mean, people run competitions and stuff. So,
Yeah.
leave us a Google review to go in the draw to win, blah. As someone asked me about this the other day, I was like, oh, I'm pretty sure technically you're not supposed to
You're
do that.
not.
So
Yeah.
don't take that as advice, but
Yeah.
people do it.
Yeah.
Uh,
I think just be picky around how you word it and what you're going to do. Yeah.
yeah.
If that's the
But
strategy you want to.
I don't think you have to. Like,
I don't think you
I
have
don't
to
think you
either.
have to incentivize people to leave you reviews if you're doing a great job.
Yep.
Almost, I'm wondering if you have to incentivize people to leave you
You're
Google
probably not
reviews. Like,
leaving a good job, doing a
you-
good
yeah,
job.
are you not doing the amazing job that you think you are? So that's why I think that surveying process is really important. And it blows my mind every time I do a keynote or a workshop and I have a room full of 100 people. I say, great, so who's surveying their clients? And like 2 people put their hand up. And it's just, you know, of course we're too afraid to ask for reviews because we don't know if our clients are happy, right? If we
Yeah.
regularly survey our clients and we know, yeah, they're always like a 9 out of 10 in happiness or whatever your NPS rating is, like, you're going to be pretty okay with asking for reviews because
Yeah.
you know that they're happy.
Yeah.
So I think
It's funny you say that because we check in with our clients a lot, but I don't know if we've ever sent an actual survey.
you have, because I've got one before.
Okay,
As a client of
There you go.
yours.
Well done,
But not
team.
for a while, so it could be time
Yeah,
to send out
absolutely.
another one.
For sure.
And yeah, it's interesting because, like, some people are like, oh, like, I talk to my clients all the time. Like, I'm the same. Like, I talk to my clients all the time. Like, we've got our coaching calls every week. But it's sometimes having like a feedback mechanism allows other things to come through that you don't know about, right?
Yeah.
So we just ran our mastermind workshop, a couple of weeks ago, and we'd sent out a feedback survey afterwards, and everyone was like super happy with the content. They loved it. They got so much out of it. But there was a few little things about feedback that we got, logistic wise, facilities wise, that will then tweak and improve for next
Yeah.
time. So like next time, instead of it being, like a 9.5 out of 10, like it might be like a 10 out of 10, So I think feedback's important.
Yeah.
And we actually did that off the back of that. The people that said that they were really happy, we actually programmed it to say, great, if you're happy, would you mind leave us a Google review?
Oh, I love that.
And we've got 3 or 4 more Google reviews just
Yeah.
by going through that process. So I think it's it's asking for the reviews. I think it's going and doing a bit of an audit to see, what that digital presence is. But the third thing is then how you use the reviews and reputation as leverage for future business. And I think this is something I think you're really, really good at in your business. Like, you're constantly like screenshotting people who are happy, and not just Google reviews, even like feedback that you get on text messages and things like that. And then using that on, on your socials and on your reels and on your video content, on your stories,
Yeah.
to give that sense of, oh my gosh, like, she's
social
working with so
proof.
many happy clients.
Yeah.
So do you have a method or a system around that? Or are you just pretty
Not
much
at
like
all.
flying by the seat of your pants, like, oh, good screenshot?
Absolutely. Yeah.
I suppose it's like, how do you, because a lot of people say a Google review,
Yeah.
right? But then often when you see it's posted, or people hesitate then on posting it because they're, oh, I don't want to sound wanky. I don't want to
Yeah,
sound like
yeah.
I'm tooting my own horn, which, by the way, everyone who has a business needs to be tooting their own horn.
Absolutely.
Toot, toot. Joe Shannon, that one's for
Yeah.
you. But, you need to be tooting your own horn as much as you can. But I think it's like how you do it matters most, right? Like, the way I see you sharing a screenshot of someone really happy, you've got your little like happy cry eyes, and like, you're like, oh my gosh, I'm so grateful for
Yeah.
this positive feedback. It's not like,
Yeah.
everyone come see how good I look. It's a really showing gratefulness for that positive feedback.
Yeah.
So
I have no system
system or
or
strategy.
method or anything, but I think it's just I am genuinely really happy when our clients are happy or when our VAs are happy, because I just know how, like, when you find a great VA and they're working really hard in a business and the owner is just like, oh my God, I can't believe I waited so long to do this. Or, I might have been talking to them for a year and then they finally come on board and they're like, oh my God, I was an idiot to wait so long. Like, I just love screenshotting that and just going, yes, like they finally did it and it's
Mm.
working well. And, it's
Do you keep a folder of all those?
no, but I need to. I would have a lot and I need to keep a folder just on my
100%. Because I
phone.
think that's,
Yeah.
we've talked about having content ready to go as well. Like just being able to, you don't feel like showing up that day or having anything to post, like
Yeah.
going and grabbing, one of those screenshots of a review
Mm.
and reposting it. I think
Yeah.
it's homework for you is to go
Yeah,
and make a
absolutely.
folder, and for me as well, because I've probably got, if you
Oh,
go
you
through my
would have
camera roll, it has
heaps. Yeah.
screenshots. One thing I have started doing is if when I take a screenshot, I send it to my marketing VA,
Yep.
who like she'll then turn that into a social media post.
Yep.
And I think that's one of the other key things is then like if you want to turn that into content, it's how to frame that up as like again, not, "Oh, look how good I am," but it's like turning it into, "Oh, we're so
Client
happy to get
wins.
these
Yeah.
results for our
Yeah.
clients," and then having some sort of call to action, "If you'd like results like these, like, we'd love to help you."
Yeah.
Like, framing it up like that, I think for most people, then they're gonna feel comfortable to go and share a review and leverage it, and it's really, really powerful on your socials,
Yeah.
because it's sort of, it gives that social proof, as I said before, like, people then are reassured that, "Oh, this isn't a gamble."
Yes.
Like you've already worked with people like me and you're already getting results for people.
Yeah.
And people want results.
Absolutely.
If they're
Yeah.
gonna, especially with housing, it's like the biggest investment they have.
Yeah.
Like they want to know that you can get them results for the sale, or you're gonna get them a great result, find an amazing tenant, or that you
Mm.
are looking after your tenants. And I actually think if you have a property management business, showcasing some of those tenant reviews is just
That's
as
very
important as the
powerful.
happy landlords, because
Yeah.
some people have this perception, oh, landlords don't care about tenants, but most of them do. And most of them want happy tenants and see the benefit of having them in there for a long
Mm.
period of time. And so for your landlords to then see on your Google reviews and on your socials
Yeah.
that you have tenants also raving about your service, like they're going to be like, great, that tenant's now going to be
Mm.
happy and stay in that property longer.
Well, I think a lot of people have the perception that the property manager is always working for the landlord. And a lot of the time, like it has to be
Mm.
a, a perfect mix. You need happy tenants, you need happy landlords. So if you've got reviews from tenants, I think that's even more powerful than having reviews from a landlord.
And it creates a shift. There's a lot of shit going on in the industry right now where tenants have this really negative perception of property
Mm.
managers,
Yeah.
and it's hard. There are some tenants who've had really shitty experiences, and like now they have a voice. And this is probably something else when you're
Yeah.
doing your googling and researching, is just making sure that you haven't shown up in any articles where the tenants got the shits and then written to Daily Mail or
Mhm.
yahoo.com or
Yep.
submitted your property to shitrentals.com. That's a piece of homework for all of you, is go and make sure that you don't have a property on shitrentals.com.
Mm.
Um, because they, 10 years ago, they didn't really have a voice, and
Yeah.
now they do. And then as a tenant now, I might get stuck in that algorithm of seeing, oh, like, all property managers are shitty and just trying to take all the tenants' bonds and
Mm.
everything. So you actually showing up with your positive reviews and your positive experiences for tenants actually helps shift that perception in the industry. Like tenants might be there saying like, oh, maybe not all property managers are bad and out to get us, which
Yeah.
we're not. Hello, we don't want to take anyone's bond.
Yeah.
Please, we would prefer no bond
Yeah.
claims at all. We would love all your
Absolutely.
bonds to go back.
So much drama.
Yeah. So I think wow, there's a lot in there. I think to probably summarize the three learnings from today, I think it's go and do that audit and
Yep.
really make sure that you've, hopefully you don't find anything bad, but maybe you might find some gaps. And it's like, oh, like if I was a prospective client of mine, I might have these doubts, right? We did the conference we went to with Success School, the retreat we went to last weekend. We
Mm.
did a social media audit, and we sat
Mm.
with a partner, and the lovely woman who I was with, like we were auditing each other's social media, and she'd have a post on there in 2 years.
Yeah.
And I said, lovingly, I'd be concerned, like, are you still alive and operating?
Yeah, absolutely. You
So
jump on
make
there,
sure
there's
that
no
what is that
post.
perception if I go and look you up? And
Yeah.
then 2, it's like finding a way to consistently ask for Google reviews.
Yeah.
And then 3, use and leverage those reviews in a way that, doesn't sound wanky. So I suppose, quick hot tip and homework for all of us is to go and do all of that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Um,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guess that's it.
There you go.
Nothing
There's
more to
some
say. Done and dusted.
there's some homework for you
Well,
all.
listen, if you want some more tips on reviews and reputation, we've got our personal branding blueprint you can grab through the link in our bio. Lots of really great tips in there. And we've got our brand lab pack that you can also download. So lots of resources for you if you get stuck on it. But hopefully today has been helpful. And here is to your reputation preceding you in all areas of your digital footprint.
Absolutely. I hope that was helpful, guys.
All right, chat soon.
Bye.